Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Revealing the Narc, and on this channel we dive deep into the intriguing world of narcissism. I'll often use public figures as examples to illustrate how these behaviors can manifest in real life. If this sounds interesting to you, please like and subscribe, and I should mention, everything I say on this channel is in my opinion and it's all allegedly. I'd also like to clarify that I am not a therapist and the content shared on this channel is not meant as professional advice. So let's get into this video. I wanted to have a little bit of humor for this one, so what I want to do is talk about top 10 narcissistic phrases you've definitely heard and you yourself may have said them. So I just want to tell you this is a lighthearted show. Just because someone says these phrases doesn't mean that they're a narcissist, right? Like the title says, you yourself may have said them. I just kind of want to be lighthearted, though I think as we go through the list, I will end up having commentary because I've heard some of these things are similar to something Megan has said or something I've seen in my own life. And if there's anything that you feel that connects with you, please drop it in the comments and let's commiserate together, right? Okay, let's get into the first one. Okay, the first one, I'm not like other people. So you know the type. They're just so unique, so special, no one could possibly relate to them. This phrase is a favorite for those who love to stand out, in their own minds anyway, right? Sometimes they'll follow it up with something like, people just don't understand me. But you have to wonder, maybe it's because they keep talking about how different they are. So I want to jump in here and say that there are times that I think to myself that I'm not like other people, but it's not coming from a place of superiority. It's coming like knowing that I have talents that other people don't have, and other people have talents that I don't have. So that's what I mean. Like these that we go through are not cut and dry, and it's the approach to the phrase that's important. So if someone is saying I'm not like other people and they are using it in a way to describe that they're superior to other people, then I think that that could be a sign of something a little bit deeper. Number 9, I'd agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong. This one's a classic. And it's like they've turned arrogance into an art form. I actually am getting angry reading this one. Imagine saying this with a straight face. You've got to give it to them. The confidence is almost inspiring. This line is perfect for someone who truly believes that their opinions are facts. And for this one, I always try to put myself in the position of someone and give people the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think there's any other way you could interpret this sentence other than you're wrong. And it's not even done in a nice way. Let me know your opinions on that one. Number 8, you're lucky to know me. We've all met someone who deep down believes they're doing the world a favor just by existing, and if you're close to them, they'll be sure to remind you of just how fortunate you are. If you're ever friends with this type, just remember, they're probably convinced they're the best thing that's ever happened to you. This one's a rough one too. And I feel like the way that I would, like if someone now said something like that to me and I would be like, yeah, you're just as lucky to know me. Right? I think a lot of times what I've experienced, when you're already being devalued and your partner says you're lucky to have me, you don't believe that they're lucky to have you too because you feel so beneath yourself, right? But it's almost like you have to force yourself to fight back. And I know it might not seem like a big deal, but saying back to this person, well, you're lucky to have me too, is not saying anything. Like I know that could lead into a fight if you say that with a narcissistic partner. But it's important to get your voice back. It's important to recognize your value. And believe me, he or she is lucky to have you too. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my dog is snoring right next to me, so I'm sorry. She's snoring. I don't have time for negativity. This is number 7. This one. This phrase sounds positive, right? But in narcissist speak, negativity often just means criticism of me. It's their way of shutting down anything they don't want to hear. So next time you give them a little constructive feedback, don't be surprised if they accuse you of being toxic. It's just code for stop questioning me. And this one immediately reminded me of a Meghan Markle situation. So Meghan had, I believe she was an agent. Her name was Gina Nelthorpe Cowan, and they had worked together for many, many years, and in Gina's mind, they had become friends. But Gina would notice some of Meghan's outrageous behavior. And also, let me set the scene. This is before she's met Harry. So, and there's like bad behavior that's happened. Like she walks into some event that Gina had prepared for her to be able to go speak. Like she really had to pull some strings to get Meghan to be able to go speak. And Meghan was just like, I'm not doing it. And she's like, Gina, you'll figure it out. You tell them. That's your job. You go to. So rude, right? But still, this woman, Gina, felt like Meghan was a friend. So they had gone out to lunch or dinner, and Meghan confesses that she's about to go on a date with Prince Harry. And Meghan said, and I don't know if it was like the first date that she was going on with Prince Harry, or like second or third date. And Gina was like, the British tabloids. And Meghan didn't even let her finish a sentence and snapped at her and said, we are not doing any negativity here. So this is a real life Meghan example in action. It's not me, it's everyone else. When things go wrong, there's only one possible explanation. The entire world is conspiring against them. They're never at fault. Nope, it's always the universe, the system, or those haters who are to blame. It takes some serious mental gymnastics to believe this, but for the narcissist, the logic is flawless. Yeah, I've definitely experienced that. I wonder, have any of you experienced that? I'm curious to know what stories are out there. Number 5, I only surround myself with the best people. This is a favorite line for anyone who thinks that they're operating on a whole other level from the rest of us. This isn't about appreciating their friends. It's more about curating a VIP club of followers. These folks make friendship sound more like an exclusive event than a relationship. And what it means is, if you, like the consequence of saying this to someone is you immediately make the person feel like ask themselves, am I going to get into the club or not, right? Am I going to make it in and be one of the people that he's surrounded by or not? And if I'm not, does that make me not one of the best people? And this is, I think I'm saying this as who I was before 2022. When I felt like I still had to defend myself and try to get to people please, basically. And I can tell you, if someone at that time came and gave me this line, I only surround myself with the best people, I would be trying so hard to be able to break into that circle. Because I want to be considered one of the best people. Because that external validation would help me. And the problem with that is that what would I do to get there? What kind of negative behaviors would I accept in order to be considered one of the best people that this person surrounds themselves with? I'm curious if any of you have experienced something like this. I know that it's really painful. And if you feel comfortable talking about it, please drop it in the comments. Number 4, another arrogant one. I don't compete, I just win. This is a phrase that lets you know that humility is officially out the window. In their world, competition doesn't even exist because they are so far ahead of everybody else. I mean, props for all the self-confidence, and I mean, let's be real. Most of us don't mind a little friendly competition. Number 3 on this list, you'll miss me when I'm gone. Talk about a dramatic exit line. Narcissists love to make it seem like their absence will be a tragedy of epic proportions for those left behind. To them, their departure is a life-altering event, but most people, they're probably just thinking about what's for lunch, right? I think if you have emotional ties to someone, strong emotional ties, maybe romantic ties, maybe familial ties, when something like this is said, it's a threat. It's a threat of abandonment. And it's a threat of abandonment, and at the same time, they are trying to get you to grovel. No, don't go. Of course I'll miss you. I mean, when someone says this to you now as a healthy person, like if someone said this to me, you'll miss me when I'm gone, I'd be like, where are you going? Like, tell me tangibly, where are you going? Because if there's anything other than I'm just going to go grocery shopping and you'll miss me while I'm there, and even that is kind of strange to say. I don't know. I don't deal with this stuff well anymore. My ex-husband, he, in the beginning of our relationship, like the first 2 years of our relationship, he broke up with me 8 times. And that 8 times, I didn't know that until a couple of years ago. That's the narcissistic cycle. And what that does to a person is it like enhances abandonment fears, which I already had. So I was on eggshells waiting for the shoe to drop, waiting for the next time that he would be like, you'll miss me when I'm gone. And now, like, I will not tolerate this. Like, just go. Okay, I'm not ending it one time and getting back together. I don't play those games anymore. If it's done, it's done. Don't come back. Seriously. And maybe I'm like strict right now about it, and maybe I'm too sensitive, and I don't know. I finally have peace in my life, and I think maybe I'm getting too private, giving too much away about my own life, but you know, you get to a place where it's peaceful, and if you're not adding peace to my life and you're adding stress to my life, and then you come at me with this, you'll miss me when I'm gone, I'm gonna be like, no, sorry, babe. My life was actually really great before you got here. Anyways, let me know how you guys feel about that. And honestly, like, me before may not have said something like, may not have thought something like that. Like, I would never have the confidence to even think that my life was better before. But I literally would say this now. Like, it wouldn't just be a thought in my head. The next one is going to get me fired up, guys. I'm just honest. Don't get me wrong, honesty is great, but when narcissists say this, it's usually an excuse for being blunt or rude. Somehow they think it's noble to tell it like it is. Being brutally honest is their way of saying, I can say whatever I want, and if you don't like it, that's on you. This is their way of saying whatever. They don't care that it's going to hurt you. In fact, they know it's going to hurt you. That's why they say, I'm just being honest. Look, there's a lot of things that you don't need to be 100% honest about. And I'll give you guys an example. So I was adopted, and I was adopted within the family. So my mom, who's the mom that raised me, she has 2 sisters. one sister gave birth to me, and then there's the other sister. So the other sister told me a couple of years ago that when my the mom who birthed me, when she was pregnant with me, this other aunt told her to have an you know what, or else she wouldn't be allowed to stay at this aunt's house. She was basically getting kicked out of the house. And I looked at this aunt and I was like, why would you tell me that? Like, first of all, so it's all under the guise of, I'm just being honest. Okay, well, you made yourself look stupid because now I know how you felt about that 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And I mean, I don't know, like what purpose does that serve? What purpose did that honesty serve? What were you hoping would happen? Like, do you think that's going to get me to have a closer relationship with you? Because it's not. And I don't know. See, some people don't play the game of chess. You have to think about the impact of your words. And those words, she thought that about that before saying it. That's not just something that rolls off the tongue. You know what I mean? Some people just don't have wisdom. And this is what I tell you. I know I say it all the time. I've been surrounded by narcissists. Like, I literally have. I literally have. Like, all of the women practically in my surroundings have been, like, on the scale. Like, for sure. Anyways. So, that was number 2. We're ready for our last one, for number 1. Just one thing, though, before we get into the last one. I am in no way bitter. I am in no way upset. I am grateful for all of my life experiences. They have led me to where I am now. And I am very happy where I am now, you know? So a lot of these things that have happened, I don't even carry anger about it. Like this that I was telling you about my aunt saying it. I'm not angry about it. It's more like, why are you so foolish? It's a foolish thing to say. Anyways. So yeah, I just want you all to know that I've like processed it, you know, and I know what kinds of people I'm dealing with, and that softens the blow somehow. And when you know what kind of person you're dealing with, you know what kind of boundaries you need to have. And a lot of times these people that are on this spectrum, they don't respond well to boundaries. So what'll end up happening if you stick to your boundaries is eventually they will probably stop talking to you, which really is not that bad a thing. So well, anyways, this has been my experience. If you feel comfortable sharing your experience, please let me know in the comments. And number 1, I'm too busy to deal with small-minded people. Okay, so, and finally, the narcissist's ultimate excuse for ignoring criticism or advice. Anyone who doesn't agree with them is small-minded or jealous. This phrase is perfect for dismissing anyone who doesn't sing their praises. In their mind, it's a waste of time to deal with opinions they don't like. After all, they have more important things to focus on, themselves. So there you have it. 10 phrases that are practically trademarks of a narcissistic personality. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Did you think this was fun? Kind of a little bit different than what I usually do. Trying to make it lighthearted, but then it does end up getting heavy because the topic is pretty heavy. Yeah, so let me know. If this was interesting to you and it was fun to you, please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends. It helps the algorithm, and most of you are so great. You're just commenting and saying, we're doing this for the algorithm, and it's so sweet and so kind, and I appreciate it so much. Okay, well, I'm going to end the video here, and I will talk to you all soon. Goodbye.